Hello and welcome to Dig Down Deep. I hope all of you are doing good in this lockdown period and keeping yourself engaged in some way. This is the sixth episode of this podcast, and I'd like to thank all of you for your reviews and suggestions on all the previous episodes. This week's topic is the theory of attachment. My name is Piyush Rana. I'm an aspiring filmmaker, a writer, and currently a podcaster. And you are listening to Dig Down Deep, a podcast where I'll talk about life, arts, entertainment, creativity, and everything that might provoke a thought in your head, and hopefully lead you towards a happy and fulfilling life. Alright, so I'd like to acknowledge the fact that I was not able to upload for a couple of weeks because of other engagements. And that is the reason I tried to fill the silence with short, shiny clips for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed them. Huh? So, not wasting any further time, let's pick up from where we left and try to understand one more aspect of life, which is how people's behavior at any point of their lives is closely related to the kind of relationship they had with their parents or caretaker. This theory is called the attachment theory, and it was given out by a psychiatrist and psychoanalyst named John Bowlby. He argues that it is very important for a child to have a physical and emotional bond with a parent or a caretaker in the early years of his life. He suggests that the way a child is treated and is approached shapes up his behavior and the way he will attach to people for his entire life. Now, this statement sounds so obvious, right? We all know that a child is a product of his upbringing, and if you are born in an Indian household, you've definitely heard of the word parvarish. But the interesting part is that Bowlby narrowed it down to four types of attachment styles that a person is likely to have for his entire life based on just his relationship with his parents or caretaker. Personally, when I did an introspection and looked behind in my life, the kind of attachment style I have currently did made a huge correlation with the way I was raised. And that's why I'm going to talk about these attachment styles and hope that this helps you get a better understanding of yourself. These four styles of attachment fall under two broad categories. One is a secure attachment and the other one is an insecure attachment. The securely attached people tend to have a greater trust and connect with people well throughout their lives, whereas the insecurely attached people tend to lack social skills and have trust issues, stopping them from forming new relationships all their lives. Now, let's look into the life of someone who has a secure attachment style. This is the most ideal kind of attachment style a person can have. When this particular person was a child, his relationship with his parents or caregiver was great. These parents are sensitive towards their kids' needs and they try to cater to his needs and create an environment in which the child feels secure. This sense of security is built by the relationship of the child and the parent. They believe that they have someone who they can communicate to and is responsive towards their feelings and thoughts. When this person grows up to be an adult, he will have no problem in creating connections with people. He will be able to trust them and have a sense of optimism and be a confident person. The other side of this coin is insecure attachments. So, insecure attachments are of three types. The first one is anxious ambivalent. Now, someone who has this kind of attachment style had a kind of relationship with their parents where they found themselves in a situation in which they were not given much attention. They had to raise their emotional state and do stuff like screaming and shouting to get the parents' attention. And when they finally get it, they have mixed feelings about it and don't really show their true emotions. When this kind of person grows up to be an adult, they tend to be moody and unpredictable. They aren't really sure what they are up to and have a less positive self-image. I'm sure you know a lot of people like that. The second kind of insecure attachment style is called the anxious avoidant attachment. Someone who has this kind of attachment style had a childhood where their parent or caretaker was strict to them. Whenever this child was too loud or showed excessive emotions, He was scolded or even punished, maybe. This developed a kind of fear in the child's mind where he thought that not showing emotions is a way to avoid punishment and fear. When this kind of child grows up to be an adult, he just follows what he learned in his childhood. He's afraid of portraying his emotions, and creating and entering into new relationships is very tough for him. And his self image is negative. The third and final kind of insecure attachment is called the anxious disorganized attachment style. Someone who has this kind of attachment style is raised in an environment of total chaos. The parents are not well trained and are unable to make any kind of meaningful relationship with the child and are not able to tend to any of his needs. This makes the child very anxious and scared of the people who are supposed to take care of him. There is a total disorganization in the child's head, and his idea of safety and love is totally distorted. This kind of person grows up to be an adult who avoid all social situations and is always skeptical about themselves. They think they don't deserve love and affection, and they have an extremely negative self-image. Every one of us falls in one of these four attachment styles, and I'm pretty sure you know which one you are by now. But the funny thing is that there's nothing any of us can do about it now because we are way past our childhood days, and these things were probably not taught to any of our parents when they were raising us. So, the idea that I'm pushing forward is that it's never too late. Why not tell them about this now? It probably won't have the same effect it would have had 23 years from now, according to my age, but still, it definitely will have some positive effect. Also, I can't get over this quote from Bowlby, which is that what cannot be communicated to the mother cannot be communicated to the self. So, yeah, that sums it up. Before ending this episode, I would like to thank all the people who subscribed to this channel without me asking them to do it. That was really wholesome and sweet of you guys. And if you liked this episode and the previous episodes, please subscribe if you already haven't. Because I've got a lot of content lined up for you guys, and it feels great when more and more people like and appreciate your work. So yeah, like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much. On that note, I would like to end this podcast. Thank you everyone for listening to me, and I'm very open to suggestions and your ideas and thoughts on the podcast. You can send in your suggestions on Instagram. My handle is PiyushRana09. And if you would like to read a transcript of this podcast and check out some additional thought-provoking content, you can check it out on my blog or website. Address is runningafternirvana.blogspot.com. Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the next episode.